Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Fable, and today I'll be playing Bob. I'm just having a normal day today, so yay! And with me today is the lovely, the talented, the amazing.
Oh. Oh no, I have to keep up with that image. Hello, my name is Inky, and today I will be playing M1-A. I am also here, and I am having a regular day.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like it's so long overdue for these two to meet.
It kind of is, but we've both been really
We
busy.
have. I just feel so bad that we kept like putting it off, or I kept forgetting to like
No,
message you back and shit. I was just like, no, these
no,
two have
no,
to
no, no,
meet.
no. Nah, stuff happens, but they're here
Yeah.
now. They've
At the
met now.
at the very
They have
least,
not met yet.
M1-A has, but M1-A has met a lot of the people that Bob knows. So
Yeah, actually. Monet's met at least a couple of people that Bob knows directly.
yeah, see,
Um,
they've met Angie, they've met Marcel, they met Tally.
they met,
Yeah.
yeah, they met Tally.
Oh God, they met Tally. That must have been. Ah,
Kids
kids are bonding.
are
Kids are.
bonding. Kids go to the toy store and debate whether to shoplift. It's a fun bonding experience. Anyway, it's probably because of this that it's probably inevitable that these guys are going to end up meeting.
Oh,
And
absolutely. It's just a question of where.
yeah, actually, Bob, just really quickly, what are you up to today?
Well, it's a usual day in Dodo Studios, but the luckily are less chaotic since NG's side of the studio is not consistently catching on fire. So
Yeah.
that's it's one less concern Bob has, though he's filled it with other with he's filled that hole in his schedule with other busy stuff that we don't need to worry about. It's perfectly legal things. Don't worry about it.
Totally, totally.
It's completely legal things. Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, for the most part, he's a workday. A workday consists of Bob mostly in the accounting office doing accounting things. Which, now that I think about it, he does rather quickly in the day since he only has to deal with moves, and
Yeah. And not an explosion budget.
yeah, God, no explosion budget, but he does have to deal with freaking light effects budgets.
Yeah, and still pyrotechnics would be involved, I imagine.
Yeah, lot of pyrotechnics.
um.
And she's had a
So,
terrible influence on moves.
yeah, their, their influences are leaking towards each other.
And now it's like in accounting during accounting meetings with them it's usually they would just fall asleep. No, now they're flirting with each other, and
Oh
Bob has to be there for it. I mean, he's happy for
no.
them, but guys,
Yeah.
please, he has to
But
legally he has to show you these numbers. You have to know what you're spending.
can make hard eyes at each other later, right now. I
Please.
know there are fireworks happening in here, but I need to talk about the fireworks happening in the budget.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, luckily today is not one of those meeting days. Today is just a calm day in the seemingly calm day in the office.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna roll something very quickly while you're working, Bob.
All right.
Okay. Um, Bob, uh, you are busy at work. Um, just head down in your papers. You start hearing you hear a little bit of a clatter from the ceiling up above.
Bob, not even looking up from his work, just has like a small smile on his face cause usually you're a lot more quiet than that. What's up with today? Is what he says out loud.
Oh, um, and there's a silence that meets you, and a small voice kind of replies, uh, um, statement. This is my first time here.
At that, Bob blinks, and then he looks up at the vent.
Uh, Peering down at you are two glowing yellow eyes. And they look a little bit startled that to see you.
Without looking, Bob reaches. Bob moves his hand over a yellow notepad, and without looking away from the person, just without looking at the paper, he just writes, "Note: add more budget to security." Side note: talk to security about the vent system. Side note: keep track of how many people have a map of the vent system. Then he puts the pen down, and then hi. Who are you?
Oh, uh, um, I am. They kind of seem to hesitate at introducing themselves, and instead they kind of squint a little bit and say, query, is this not the kitchen?
No, this is. Before Bob answers that, he actually stops himself and goes, "Actually, before I answer that, could you come down here, please? I can't really see you well from up there."
Uh, the eyes look down at the grating and they say, I am not sure how.
Oh, are you stuck?
They they bristle a little bit and they say, no, I am not. I just do not know what the method is to get down there.
Oh. Well, and Bob's gonna stand up on his chair. I'm gonna roll hammer space real quick. He's gonna pull out a screwdriver. And he's just gonna. Well, first.
So just gonna. Oh, sorry.
Well, first off, we have to unscrew the vent, and he's just gonna he's just gonna unscrew the bolts to the grate.
Yeah.
Carefully lift this up. Carefully removes it and places it on the desk, and voila, open.
And the being kind of, you notice that it's staring at your screwdriver for a moment, Bob, before something small and disc-shaped kind of descends through the vent and takes a look around. Oh, observation. This is definitely not the kitchen.
No, this is definitely not the kitchen. That's I think you probably missed a rider. You probably missed a turn or two in the vents to get there. Bob is actually going to be starting to put the vent grate back in place. But if it's the kitchen you're looking for, I can show you where that is.
M1-A turns to Bob a little startled, and they go, you would not happen to know a Marcel cook, would you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Oh,
I mean, we work together, and plus he's my brother, so I sure hope I know him.
Hang on. M1-A's gonna roll very quickly history I'd say.
Is this to remember? Is this to remember what a brother is?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, M1-A, sweetie.
16. M1A's actually eyes widen a bit and they go, "Oh, you are part of Marcel Cook's family unit."
Yeah, yeah, we're family. Family unit. That's the first time I've heard it be called that. But yeah, he says as
And
he's finishing up screwing the vent in place, puts his screwdriver in Hammer's face and gets off his desk and probably starts heading towards the door.
yeah. Um, and M1A, this mysterious creature, is hovering at your head, Bob, and kind of tilting their head at you. "Hmm, you do not resemble Marcel Cook."
Oh, we're not related by I guess the term would be related by blood. Related by blood. No, we don't share the same parents or anything. We choose to be family.
And M1A kind of they look they look a little confused at that idea, but
And when they would not be the first person Bob has seen be
yeah,
confused by that.
yeah, yeah. But they shake their head a bit and they say, "Oh, query, I is Marcel Cook here?"
Ah, Bob's actually going to check his watch. It's a little bit past lunchtime, so he might be taking a break. He might be taking a break right now, but we could still go to the kitchen if it's food you want.
And at this, M1A actually sags a little bit. Roll an insight.
All right. 25.
Oh, that's
The inside of Bob.
uh, Bob, with your laser insight, uh, you notice that M1A looks a bit disappointed and a little bit sheepish, and you suspect that they they tried to they were here to try and see Marcel, but you also suspect that the way how nervous how like sheepish and kind of they're avoiding your eye contact a bit, that they seem a little bit embarrassed that they've one popped up at the wrong place, and two that they seem a bit disorganized in their attempt to meet up with him.
Hmm. Tell you what, we could go see if he's there. If not, we could wait for him. It's not the end of his
Uh,
workday, so I know he'll be back.
and when they perks up a little bit, and they say, "Oh," and they kind of peer over at what paperwork you're doing briefly, and they say, "Wait, are you not doing a task now?"
Well, look. Actually, none of that's going to be due for a while, so I don't. So I can afford a small delay. Yeah, I don't mind, and I certainly know no one here is going to mind either.
And when they kind of looks around a little bit, and then they slowly nod, and they say, "If you are certain."
I I am.
Query,
And, hmm?
query, what what is your name?
Oh goodness, I never said. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. My name is Bob. What's your name?
Oh, Bob. M M1-A, class undefined.
Ooh, a mystery.
No, no mystery.
Oh,
Just undefined.
oh. Yes. Well, I'm Bob, class, artificer, and wizard.
And M1-A kind of thinks about this a bit, and they say, Bob Wizard, Bob Artifice,
You,
Bob Artifice,
you,
Artificerd.
you can just call me Bob.
And M1-A nods, uh, and they kind of their antennae twitches a bit, and they say, many people here do not enjoy being called by their functions.
Ha! Oh yeah, I had to. Yeah, you learned that real quick here. Boy, don't I know it? Bob says as he actually opens the door to his office to start leading M1-A.
Yeah, M1-A is a little intrigued by that wording, but they're going to trail after him, and they're gonna kind of look around a little bit as you're walking, Bob, and they're hovering behind you.
Mm-hmm. I think Bob is
As
kind
they
of talking to fill the silence a little bit as they're walking, because M1-A saying that makes Bob immediately just like, ah, yeah, yeah, toots are toots and Nyquil sure are strange, aren't they? A good strange, don't get me wrong, but certainly strange.
um, and M1-A kind of they're nodding in they're nodding and they're listening, but whenever Bob specifies tunes from Minecraft, they go, Query, you are not from Inkwell.
Oh no, I'm from I'm from I'm from No Man's. It's a small island out in the middle of the ocean. I mean,
Off,
I am a toon, and the nobodies there are toons as well. We're just not your usual, I guess.
off continent.
Hmm.
Off continent. And, hmm, you are tunes and you are not Inkwell tune.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Do you? Hmm. We'd be surprised if you didn't. We have a habit of disappearing in the background. You wouldn't happen to know what a nobody is, would you?
Uh, M1-A. Actually, hang on. M1-A is going to roll history
Yeah.
because, look, they've been learning bits and pieces from Woodlig. Whether Woodlig knew at all about nobodies or other tune
I
kinds beyond Einquell,
I
I'm
wouldn't
unsure.
I wouldn't doubt Woodlig. I think Woodlig would definitely would know about nobodies. And
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
nowadays because more nobodies are have been leaving No Man's to come to Inkwell. So
Ah,
and be
yeah,
less in the background. So
yeah. Well, I'll see if when they stayed awake for that one. They did not. They
it's a 9. Nope.
That's a 9. M1-A kind of they actually they kind of like look a little sad and they say, Bob, you are clearly someone. You are not nobody.
Oh no no. Oh no no. See, when I say nobody, a nobody is a well, a nobody can be a kind of tune. And you actually, as Bob is explaining, you actually see like a little thought bubble appear over his head, and you see like
Uh,
and M1-A can see like the image of a standard nobody.
oh, M1-A kind of like observes this a bit startled, but they're looking.
And a nobody and well, the nobodies that come from actually they're so nobodies we're essentially made to be background tunes, office jobs and the like. We're not usually seen a lot. Hence the name nobodies. If that makes sense.
And M1-A kind of looks at the little nobody picture and down at you, Bob, and they say, "You are a mere spark."
Huh? I'm a what?
M1-A, you M1-A kind of thinks a little bit about their wording, and they say, "You are many in the background."
Oh yeah. Well, I was. Guess I'm a bit different. I've changed a little bit since when I was printed. So, but you're not wrong. I was.
Query, what do nobodies do?
Well, at first we mostly did office jobs, kind of like what I'm doing now. I do accounting. It's what I was made for, and it's what I'm good at. But there can be nobodies that also do just filing, secretary work. There are actually some that work in construction, but usually blueprinting and the like. Mostly the kind of jobs Toons and Ikewell don't take much joy in. Anything with
Uh,
paperwork, really.
so M1-A has stopped moving, and they're just floating there.
Yeah, Bob has maybe taken a few steps ahead before realizing M1-A has stopped and goes, "Oh, why'd you stop?"
And M1-A is staring at you, Bob, and says, "You are you were built for something, and you carry out that task."
I mean, I guess. Kind of.
Um,
It's what I do, but it's not what I am.
uh, make a make an insight on that, actually.
Okay. 12. Bob.
Well, I will give you this. They look confused at that. But if you were built to do something, then is that not is your role not a big part of who you what you are?
Hmm. Bob is gonna look uh at this little floating I mean he's
They if you look closely, their antennae are drooping a bit, and they still look confused.
if Monet, if you don't mind me asking, oh, this actually might be a bit. Actually, this might be a bit rude to ask, but you asking me makes me kind of curious. But what kind of tune are you?
Um, M1-A kind of looks over up at you, Bob, a little startled, and they go. At first, you notice they bristle a little bit, like a little bit protectively, like they seem to be suddenly flared up and ready to cut off your question, and then they kind of seem to catch themselves, and they just kind of seem to flop a little bit sadly, like a floppy fried egg. um,
Oh,
and they go, "No, no, I asked you. I respond. This is not classified." And they say, "I am a mere spark. A mere spark am I."
oh, I'm sorry.
I
I don't understand what that means though.
And M1-A thinks a little bit, and they say, "I am a spark that is a part of the great machine.
That
I
hearing just that clicks something for Bob.
At least I was. I am not sure anymore."
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hmm.
Um, and they say, "I was, I am, I, I was built to be sentry. I had one role, and now I am unsure of whether I am qualified for that."
Bob's, roll insight on Bob.
They will try. What's your insight? Insight? Not a 0. That's a 5. They're kind of lost in their own thoughts about the matter.
Yeah, the most you get is just a soft expression from Bob. Uh, he nods and just, yeah, hmm. Tell you what, how about we finish this talk in the kitchen and we can talk over some pancakes.
Uh, One looks up at you, Bob, and asks, "Query, what are pancakes?" While still looking a little bit droopy.
Bob's smile grows, and that's where we cut to the kitchen. M1-A, you are sitting you're sitting. I don't know if M1-A sits.
M1-A does at least like sit in their UFO form
Yeah.
on the counter.
Yeah. There's now there's now a plate of warm pancakes being set in front of you. Bob looking rather proud of himself as Marcel taught me how to make these, so and I don't well they're probably not going to taste as good as Marcel's, but I'll let you try. I'll let you try them.
Okay, M1-A um, M1-A looks between you, Bob, and the pancakes. "Query, there is sugar in here?"
Uh, yeah. Do you not do well with sugar? Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh, and M1-A kind of brightens a little bit, and they say, "The opposite. Marcel Cook does not recommend I have sugar." And they look over Bob.
Oh.
Bob, if you follow M1-A's gaze, you notice a part of the wall at the kitchen that you remember had to be that you remember you had to work out the paperwork for getting fixed because there was a dent in it.
Oh. Oh. Huh. Maybe I should make you some non-sugary pancakes real quick.
And M1-A goes, "I am sorry."
Oh no. That's fine, but well, it's easier to talk. It would be easier to talk without you being stuck in a wall. Is all.
And M1-A nods.
So just like real, real quick, like yeah, we're gonna do a quick cut, and when pancakes are now once again being placed in front of you, but these are now sugar free.
Yeah. M1-A M1-A will ascend a little bit, uh, like observe them from several angles, and then they will hover above the pancakes, and a ray of light comes down from beneath them, and the pancakes dissolve into this pixelated looking these pixelated looking lights,
Ooh.
and they go straight up into M1-A.
Aha.
They've eaten all the pancakes. Uh,
Do you like them?
and their eyes are sparkling.
I'll take that as a yes. Do you want any more?
uh, I and they look over at the frying pan and they go, "If I have too many, I may have excess energy regardless of sugar."
Ah, okay. Okay, so maybe later then. But what?
And M1-A nods.
All right. Well, now that you've at least got to try some pancakes, I know you had questions, and
uh, uh, and M1-A kind of looks at you, Bob, and they say, "You say that you were a nobody, that you were built for one thing, but you you are more now?"
yeah, I would say that. Goodness, how to explain? I guess it'd be easier to. Hmm. Yeah, I was made to just be an accountant nobody. Be in the background and not do much not do much else besides that. But and Bob actually raises a hand to his mismatched eyes. I I'm what you would call a misprint. Didn't I didn't come out right. And in No Man's that used to not be a good thing.
Uh,
That's changed
oh,
now though. They're much more accepting of misprints and the like. But it took a while for everyone to learn that. Me included.
uh, M1-A kind of stares at you, Bob, and they say, "I observation. I do not know if we learned that back home."
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Um, they kind of settle back down on the counter, um, and kind of, how how did you become more? I they think a little bit and they say, I I enjoyed my work as sentry. I was I was proud of being sentry, but but and it was what I was built for. But now I am here, and I've I've broken so many rules of what it is to be sentry. And now people are saying I can be whatever I choose. But
It's
but there
scary.
are so many. There are so many things.
Yeah, there's a lot. I had to. Oh goodness, when I first came to Inkwell, It was a lot. I think
It,
I was just where you are, where goodness, it was so much. I don't I accepted what I had accepted what I was, and that there shouldn't be more than that, but maybe it's something maybe it's just something about Inkwell, or I don't know, but you come here and Inkwell makes you very aware of how much more there is. And it opens the possibilities for you to be more. Maybe not
M1-A.
maybe not entirely something else, but just more. I still do accounting after all. But like I said
and
before, it's I'm more than that now.
and M1-A kind of they they nod a little bit, and they they also frown a bit. Um, you you how how did you become more? Is it something you choose to be?
I think it's a bit of that. It's a bit of it being your choice, but it's also hmm, a lot of it happens a lot of it can happen naturally. Yeah, like you don't for me, some changes happened without me even realizing it. Until one day I looked in a mirror and suddenly I was different. Others
Hmm.
it's others yeah, it's a conscious choice to make. But I think
And when
what
I actually
oh no, go ahead.
and when I actually at that uh and when I kind of rises up off the counter and looks down at the shiny surface, and they seem to they seem to be squinting at their reflection. I
Bob.
do not think I've changed.
Well, according to what you've told me, you have.
They look up at you, Bob, a little bit startled. I I have changed?
Of course, everyone changes, even if we don't realize it. Maybe not physically, but it's like you said. You were a sentry and you were very proud of it. But you just admitted that you broke a lot of sentry rules coming here.
And when a kind of they look a little hmm, and when they looks back down at their reflection and they say, I I I tried to see the rules in a different way so that so that my friend would be safe. But the more I did that, the more I kept changing them, and I wanted to believe they were the same rule because then that would mean it was still something I could follow and still a task I could do and still do what I was made for. But it's changed so much. I, and they kind of laugh a little bit and they say, I do not, I barely remember what the original rule was.
Hmm. Bob
I
looks down at the shiny surface as well, and he's looking at his own reflection as well.
Hmm.
I won't lie. Change is very scary, especially when there are rules involved.
and M1-A nods very seriously.
I will say this though. Having You said you have a friend. I can say with certainty that having friends helps.
And M1-A, they nod and they say, mm, that is why I was going to talk to Marcel Cook about this.
I hope. Well, I know I'm not Marcel, but I hope I've been at least a
uh,
little bit of help. But
M1-A looks at you and says, I think you and I are perhaps fellow sparks.
Bob smiles at that.
And they they kind of settle back down on the counter and they say, Are there many others like us?
Oh, certainly. I mean, after. Oh goodness, this is gonna sound very weird out of context, but after me and my friends had the, I guess, revolution at No Man's, a lot more nobodies kind of followed suit and started doing their own thing.
And I want a kind of query revolution.
Oh, yeah. So, goodness, how do I? Oh goodness, this isn't a very happy story, but I got mm, well earlier. Well, oh goodness, right. So I had got after I spent some time here in Ikewell, uh, but I decided to go back to No Man's to basically quit so I could live here. Um, Obviously they didn't take it very well, and I got uh let's just say they wouldn't let me leave. So my friends came to help me, and we sort of started a revolution. We fought a lot of people, and oh goodness, I'm not explaining this very well. Oh dear.
And when they kind of they stare at you and they say, You, Harry, you fought a great machine?
Maybe not. Hmm. In a sense, I suppose we fought we fought my boss. Yeah, that was.
Uh,
But she was going through her own stuff at the time, and it ended. I mean, it ended well. I think she's certainly doing a lot better these days.
I
It.
think I
Go
think
ahead.
M1-A's gonna like take that in for a moment. uh, they just seem to be staring into space. You,
M1-A.
how
Hmm.
were you not afraid that you could be replaced?
Oh, I was terrified. Oh good. There not a moment went by during that time that I wasn't scared witless. But at the same time, hmm, looking at what was at stake at the time, I was scared, but my friends, my family, they had all come to help me. And then there were all the other nobodies, the other misprints like me who were. Roll insight on Bob.
I'm rolling in. I'm gonna roll insight. Come on, M1-A. That's an
18.
18.
Bob is not going into full detail about what happened about what happened in No
Yeah.
Man's, but Inky,
Yeah.
you know.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
M1-A doesn't, but
And
I know.
anyone who has listened to my game Land of No Man's knows what happened. And there's a look over Bob's face that he might not be going into detail, but you can gather that what had happened to him and the other misprints was not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, M1-A kind of. Oh. M1-A is just kind of staring at you, Bob, and they know you're holding some stuff back, like, and hey, information classified, they can understand that.
It's not even information
But
classified. He just doesn't. It's just it's not happy. It's just not happy
yeah,
stuff.
it's not happy, yeah, but they're interpreting as classification.
Mm.
uh, and they go, other other nobodies, other misprints. And they think hard and they go, I I did not think, I did not see if there were other fellow sparks who were unhappy. I hmm, I thought, I am wondering if the only sparks who were unhappy were myself and my friend. And, and they kind of, you get the feeling that they haven't really thought so hard about this before.
Yeah, and Bob. Well, now you might. I don't know your full situation or what home must have been like, but how do I put?
And
Just I feel the need to say it right off the bat, but don't feel bad about not realizing these sorts of things. I certainly did. It took me. I'm. Oh goodness, I'm 29. I'm 29 now, but I didn't realize until a year ago about how things in No Man's weren't right, or how other nobodies couldn't have been happy living like that. 28 years, but when you're there, when you're in that situation, it's difficult to take in everything. It's hard to know what's right and wrong until you actually have a chance to take a step back from it all.
and M1-A kind of looks up at the ceiling and they say, hmm, I am very far away now. And then they kind of do a double take and they say, wait, Query,
Hmm?
you are how many years?
Oh, I'm 29.
Observation. You are ancient.
Oh, 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 M1-A dear. Oh, I'm afraid I am. I suppose to some tunes I am, but uh, I don't know if anyone else has told you this, but there are tunes much older than I am.
And someone's about to do a wisdom save. 1 sec.
I mean, that's you're not wrong. 28 is actually because most tunes mature at like 5 years old. So Bob being 28 would be considered
Yeah, oh
ancient.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. M1-A just rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god. Oh no. M1-A baby, sweetie.
they're, they're, they're like, uh, wait, how old? What? How, wait, dude, what?
I
What?
it's I know it's I apparently it's a lot to take in for people. Don't think too much about it. All right.
But, 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 then but, there's only two, I, I have only existed for 2 years. And, and the oldest spark I know is 2.5 years.
You see.
And
Can I say that during this ramble, Bob froze and like there's just like a just realization in his brain. 2 years. Oh God, this is a baby.
yeah, this is a baby. The oldest spark I know is 2.5 years, and the Great Machine is the oldest thing. Think. I think. How old are how old are tunes?
Well, oh dear, age can be a bit strange with tunes, and it depends on the tune. Uh, boy, how do I explain this? Nobody's can live a good while, but we don't start out as children or infants. We come out as adults. Uh,
And, then when they kind of like they nod, they say, "Yes, yes, we are also. I I think I think we are. I do not believe we are children." Uh, there, you can hear like computer fans whirring now. Bob, and there you can also see like a pixelated buffering symbol,
God,
like
I'm just
hovering
picturing.
above them.
God, I'm just picturing just like freeze frame on M1-A and just text going like, "Oh my God, am I baby?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They Bob, I will give you straight up. They don't look sure. They don't look sure at all.
Yeah, Bob's kind of just like just raising like a very like calming, just gesturing calmly, like, well, I'll admit I don't know much about sparks, so I don't know either. But goodness, 2.5. Oldest is 2.5. Goodness. If you don't,
Uh,
that's not very old. Is that your life? Is that your life cycle for sparks?
and M1-A kind of they frown and they say, "No, no. I think we can grow to be older, but," and they frown. "The Great Machine told us that a star of the Far Realm attacked us for then, and we are we were manufactured after that. And they're still thinking, like, they still seem caught up in the whole, like, it's like, am I adult? Am I child? Am I?
Well, I.
Yes,
Hmm. Yes?
yes. Oh, the oldest spark I know is 2.5 years old. And they are getting older. Maybe they will be 3 soon.
I certainly hope so. Though that means that soon you'll be older too.
And M1-A kind of looks at you, Bob, and they say, sometimes I forget the passage of time is real.
Oh goodness, I. Oh goodness, yeah, yeah. Time is, time is fun. Time is weird. Bob actually glances to the side. Yeah, yeah, time. Yeah, time.
Yeah, time. And they kind of they finally seem to calm down a little bit from their introspection on age and what they are.
Yeah.
um, and they settle down on the counter and they go, "Up, Bob.
Yes.
I have met many here in Inkwell who are a little bit like me and a little bit like my friend, made for one thing and not being able to do it as well or as we were intended. But I did not think there were others who were like fellow sparks. And observation, it is it is a relief to hear.
Bob smiles softly. I. Hmm. There's a comfort in knowing that when you're not the only one. But then a bit of a sadness takes his expression. But at the same time, I know how it feels, and I'm sorry you have to go through it. But I'm glad you're not going through it alone.
And M1-A kind of they they seem to take a breath. How, you don't know, but they rise off of the counter, and Bob, you hear a small chink, and you see them kind of mechanically transform and out of their UFO mode and into their winged mode. And now they have arms. Uh,
Oh, I did not know you could do that.
oh, and they look down at themselves and they say, "Oh, should I have done it sooner?"
Oh no no no! Oh no no no! Yeah, it's fine. You could do it whenever you'd like. But I just I'm learning things.
and
Don't mind
and
me.
when A nods and they say, "Hmm, so am I." And they kind of look down at their hand, uh, and they offer it to you, Bob, and they say, "Mere sparks are we."
Bob looks at M1-A's hand, back at him, then back at M1-A, and then he smiles, and will reach out and take M1-A's hand.
Gosh. Um, they they shake once and then they look at their own hand again and they say, "I this is something I was taught too."
Oh, who taught you this?
Um, and they think a bit. They think a little bit. There's Blink friend showed me this.
Blink, 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 blink. I think I've heard the name, but I don't think I've met him in person.
And they nod. They say, "He also feels like a fellow spark sometimes." And then they look around the kitchen, um, and they say, "I think I will wait here a bit longer for Marcel Cook, but I had many questions to ask him, but I would like to stay here and keep speaking with you, Bob teacher."
Bob blinks at that. Teacher?
And when they tilt their head and they say, "Back at the Great Machine, it was polite to refer to others with their name and their function. In Inkwell, it is very different. Some people do not like to be referred to as their functions, but I still do. Sometimes, sometimes I will go by what feels correct to me, but I could refer to you as something otherwise."
Hmm. Well, I certainly don't mind being called teacher if you feel. Hmm. I'll let you decide. I'm flexible. And he actually wobbles his arms a little bit to show that he's in fact flexible paper.
And and when A kind of observes this, they suddenly blink and they say, "Bob, Bob flexible, Bob wobble."
Yeah, I wobble.
And they they shake their head and they say, some do not like titles. Tally friend did not like titles."
Wait, you know Tally?
Mm. And they nod and they say, "Yes, encountered Tally the other day. Was in a walk in Toontown.
Hmm.
Went to toy store together."
But there's suddenly an immediate glint of understanding, as well as and Bob kind of like nods, looking to the side, like, yeah, that would explain a lot, actually.
You know Tally.
I do. She's my daughter.
And M1-A is processing a little bit.
Bob waits.
Processing.
Bob waits patiently.
You you Tally is also part of this family unit.
I sure hope so.
Is Tally, are you Tally's brother as well?
No, not brother. I'm her father. Adoptive father specifically.
M1-A also looks a little confused at this, and they say, "Hmm, Bob Father. You are Bob Father."
Nope, nope. You can as much. Maybe let's not go with that title. Oh, the Bob Father. Oh, I'm telling you, did you hear that?
And M1-A just like, "Hmm, there's if not that, then there is one I like to default to.
Hmm?
Friend. Friends have many functions, I have found."
Oh, Bob. Bob has a big smile at that. Indeed they do. I think I think I like friend.
Hmm, Bob friend.
M1-A friend.
And M1-A kind of, you notice they kind of, their antennae rise at that, but they look a little bit sheepish. I, hmm, I do not know about that. I do not have many functions like other friends do. Am I, do
Well, you can
I
fly,
want,
you can eat pancakes, you can shift between two forms. I'd say that's a good amount of functions.
and when they actually, they go, that, that is just what I do. That is not a, is that a function?
It can
That,
be. I consider it I consider it this way. When it comes to friendship, loopholes are acceptable.
and when they kind of, they laugh a little bit, and then they think on that a little bit, because something about that statement rings true, very, very true to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. When it comes to friendship, loopholes are acceptable. Hmm. Yes,
Bob
yes, agreed.
Bob smiles, but in the back of his head, there's a bit of a foreboding thought. It's like, wait, this is a child. There's a good chance that that M1-A is going to take this out of context at some point. I hope that someone responsible is there to help them in that in
It's okay. I
whenever
think
that
there is.
happens.
um, and they say, but that aside, I still want to learn other functions. And they look over at the stove where the pancakes are. Well, where the pancakes are made.
Do you wanna learn how to make pancakes?
And when they sheepishly, you notice that they seem a little bit uh they seem pretty sheepish about this, and they say, yes, and I I I may require assistance.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't make you do it on your own first go.
And M1-A nods, and they say, okay, okay,
All right then.
where
Well, let's
where
practice
do
make.
we
Hmm?
where do we begin?
Well, first we gotta make the batter, and I think from there Bob will start teaching M1-A how to make pancakes. And whenever
Yeah.
Marcel returns, there's gonna be a lot of pancakes.
There's going to be so many.
There's gonna be probably some on the ceiling and on the wall,
Yep. Yep.
but it's okay.
Some
Bob will help
got,
clean.
yeah. Thankfully, no dents in the wall this time.
Thankfully, no dents. Bob teaches M1-A how to make sugar-free pancakes.
Yeah. And do you think that's a good place to maybe wrap it up?
think so. I think Bob will be encouraging to M1-A, to if they have any more questions or if they just want to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Cuz, you've got M1-A, you've got someone who really has been there
Yeah.
and is more than willing to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Even
Maybe
when he's kind of relieved.
and Bob will admit this, he may not be able to give the exact advice that they need because they are
Hmm.
very much in the same situation Bob was in, but also very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he'll be there to listen, if anything else.
Yeah.
Weh.
Oh, I
It's just,
love Bob.
I love
Bob
M1-A.
is. Yeah.
God, M1-A's baby.
They didn't quite realize they were a baby, but yes, they are
God,
babies.
so many babies.
Yeah.
Oh, and they did a handshake. God, it was so cute.
Yeah. They were learning. They're learning the gestures that Toonkind do sometimes.
Hey. Uh,
Ah,
yeah, that was expired warranties.
yep. Thank you guys so much for listening,
Yeah.
listeners of the current time and listeners of the future.
We hope to see you next time, and until then, bye.
Bye.